I never imagined the money I saved my entire life would disappear in one careless laugh. That's the exact thought echoing in my head the morning I realized my pension was gone. I am Margaret, 68 years old, widowed, and living in the small back bedroom of my son's house. After my husband passed away, my son Daniel insisted I move in with him and his wife, Laura, my daughter-in-law. He said it was safer, warmer, family. I believed him. For 42 years, I worked as a school librarian. I skipped vacations, wore the same winter coat for a decade, and packed leftovers while others ate out. Every sacrifice had one purpose: my pension. Not luxury, not riches, just dignity in old age, medicine, food, a little independence. Each month, that pension landed in my bank account like clockwork. It was mine until it wasn't. Laura had always been loudly cheerful, the kind of person who smiled while asking personal questions, who hugged too tightly, who called me mom but never meant it. She loved brands, trips, photos, and posting smiling pictures online with captions like, "Blessed life." Daniel, my son, worked long hours and trusted her with everything, especially money. One afternoon, Laura knocked on my door holding a stack of papers and her phone. "Mom," she said sweetly, "Daniel asked me to help you organize your finances, just in case something happens." I hesitated. Something about her eyes made my stomach tighten. "I manage fine," I replied softly. She laughed. "Oh, please. It's just paperwork. You trust me, right?" That was my mistake. I signed. 2 weeks later, my bank card stopped working. At first, I thought it was a machine error. Then the teller looked at her screen and frowned. "Ma'am, your account balance is 0. The room spun. "What do you mean, 0? I whispered. She turned the screen toward me. Every cent of my pension, gone. Withdrawn, transferred, authorized. I walked home in a daze, my hands trembling, my chest tight. Laura's car wasn't in the driveway. Daniel was still at work. On the kitchen counter, I saw it. A glossy travel brochure. Romantic Europe, 21 days. Paris, Rome, Santorini. 2 tickets circled in red. My heart dropped into my stomach. When Laura came home that evening, she was glowing, sun-kissed already, like she had left weeks ago instead of hours. "Oh, Mom," she chirped. "Guess what? Daniel surprised me with a trip. Isn't it amazing?" I looked at her. Really looked. "You took my pension," I said quietly. She froze for half a second, then laughed. "Don't be dramatic. We borrowed it. Daniel said you're not even using it much. You live with us. What expenses do you have?" I felt something break inside my chest. "That money is for my medication, for my food, for my life." She rolled her eyes. "Your family. Stop acting like a stranger." Daniel came home late, tired, distracted. I told him everything. He sighed. "Mom, Laura already booked everything. It's non-refundable." That night, I didn't sleep. 3 days later, they left. No groceries were bought before they went. No money was left behind. Just a note on the fridge in Laura's handwriting. "We'll be back in 3 weeks. There's food somewhere, don't worry." But there wasn't. By the end of the first week, my cupboards were empty. My pills were running out. Pride kept me from calling anyone. Then something strange happened. On the 10th day, I received a message. Flight delayed. Coming home early. My heart didn't race with joy. It hardened with resolve. Because during their absence, I had made a decision. By the second week alone in that house, I learned just how invisible I truly was. The refrigerator hummed like it was alive, but inside it was nearly empty. just an old jar of mustard, half a lemon gone dry, and a carton of milk so sour it burned my nose when I opened it. The cupboards were worse. A single can of beans. No bread, no rice. I ate slowly, carefully, one spoon at a time, as if stretching each bite could stretch time itself. My medication was running out too. I split pills in half, then quarters. My hands shook at night and my vision blurred in the mornings. I slept wrapped in 2 sweaters because the heating was off, to save money, Laura had said. And yet, online, her life looked perfect. A neighbor, Mrs. Collins, showed me her phone one afternoon. Laura smiling in front of the Eiffel Tower, Laura holding a glass of wine in Rome, Laura captioning the photo, "Living our best life, heart, grateful," with my pension. I didn't cry. Crying wouldn't feed me. Crying wouldn't protect me. So I planned. I called the pension office first. They told me the truth I already feared. Because I had signed authorization, legally the money was gone. Recovery would take months, if it happened at all. I called a free legal aid center. They confirmed the same thing. "Your best protection now," the woman said gently, "is documentation and boundaries." Boundaries. That word echoed in my mind all night. The next morning I opened the fridge and stared into its emptiness. And then I smiled for the first time in days. If Laura thought I was helpless, if she thought I was weak, then she had badly misunderstood me. Over the next few days, I did something I had never done before. I asked for help. Mrs. Collins brought me bread. The pharmacist gave me samples of my medication. A church down the street offered warm meals at noon. And with every small kindness, my strength returned. But the most important part of my plan didn't involve people. It involved the refrigerator. I cleaned it until it shined, shelf by shelf, drawer by drawer. I wiped away every stain, every smell. Then I carefully placed items inside. Not food, documents. Photocopies of my pension statements, bank transaction records, the authorization form with Laura's signature highlighted, printed screenshots of her vacation photos posted on the exact days my money was withdrawn. On the top shelf, right at eye level, I placed a large envelope. Across the front, I wrote in bold black letters, "My life savings." Behind it, another envelope, "Evidence." And below that, taped neatly to the fridge wall, a handwritten note. Since there was no food for me, I thought I'd store what truly mattered here. I closed the fridge. Then I waited. On the 14th day, I heard the sound I had been expecting, a car pulling into the driveway. Laughter, suitcases rolling, the front door opening. "Mom," Laura's voice rang out, "we're home." I stayed in my room. I heard her heels click across the kitchen floor. Then the fridge door opened, and suddenly a scream. Not anger, not annoyance, a raw, piercing scream of shock. I stepped into the hallway just in time to hear Laura's voice shaking. I walked slowly into the kitchen, each step steady, deliberate. Laura stood frozen in front of the open refrigerator, her face drained of color. Daniel was beside her, still holding a suitcase, confusion written all over him. "What is this?" Laura demanded, pointing inside the fridge like it had betrayed her. Daniel leaned closer, his brow furrowed as he read the labels. "My life savings? Evidence?" he read aloud. "Mom?" I met his eyes. "That," I said calmly, "is what you left me with." Laura slammed the fridge door shut. "This is insane. Why would you put papers in the refrigerator?" I folded my arms. "Because when you left, there was no food, so I stored the only things I had left." Silence filled the kitchen like thick smoke. Daniel opened the fridge again, slowly this time. He pulled out the envelope marked evidence and flipped through the pages. Bank statements, dates, amounts. Each page told the same story. Laura laughed nervously. "Daniel, come on, she's exaggerating. We talked about this." Daniel didn't look at her. He kept reading. "I didn't exaggerate. I rationed medication. I ate from a church kitchen. Neighbors fed me while you toasted champagne in Europe." Laura's smile cracked. "That's emotional manipulation," she snapped. "You're making me look like a villain." Daniel finally turned to her. "Did you take her pension?" he asked quietly. Laura hesitated, just a second too long. "I told you, it was temporary. She lives with us. It's family money." Daniel's voice hardened. "It was her pension." "She doesn't need all of it," shot Laura back. "She barely spends anything, and I needed this trip. I've been stressed." Something inside Daniel snapped. "You spent my mother's retirement money because you were stressed?" I watched my son, my gentle, conflict-avoiding son, change before my eyes. He looked at the papers again, then at me. "Mom," he said, his voice shaking, "why didn't you call me?" "I did," I replied softly. "You told me it was non-refundable." Laura stepped forward, anger blazing. "Are you really choosing her side after everything I do for this family?" I spoke before Daniel could answer. "I am not a side. I am a person." Laura scoffed. "You want sympathy? Fine. But what do you want now? Money? An apology?" I took a breath. "I want my dignity back." Daniel straightened. "And she'll get it," he said. Laura stared at him in disbelief. "You can't be serious." "I am," he replied. "You'll return every cent." Laura laughed sharply. "How? I spent it." Daniel looked at her coldly. "Then you'll sell what you bought, or we'll handle this legally." Her face went pale. "You wouldn't." "I would," he said. "And if you don't fix this, you won't be living here." The kitchen was silent except for the hum of the refrigerator, the same fridge that had held my truth when nothing else could. Laura's hands trembled. "You're threatening me over some old woman's money?" she whispered. Daniel's voice was firm. "I'm protecting my mother." Tears burned my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. That night, Laura slept in the guest room. Daniel knocked on my door. "I'm so sorry, Mom. You failed me." I placed my hand on his. "You listened. That matters." But the story wasn't over, because the next morning, Laura made a move none of us expected.